And first, I'd like to invite up Jordan Hevener, who's one of the co-founders of the Woman Project.
Thank you all. Conventional wisdom is that the world woke up on November 9th, 2016 to find our rights under attack. But the reality is reproductive freedom was already under attack. Today, the Women Project is 1 year old and lucky to be a part of the Reproductive Freedom Coalition and the 2018 launch. This coalition has a long history of fighting to protect reproductive freedom in Rhode Island. We owe this coalition great thanks for pushing against so many attempts to take away rights and for pushing for the passage of the Reproductive Health Care Act since the early 1990s. After the election, we were surprised to realize that despite all the hard work that had been happening, our state was rated as hostile to reproductive rights and got an F from NARAL. Through research and conversation, we learned that many of our friends and neighbors were concerned about losing reproductive health care, and yet Rhode Islanders support safe and legal abortion access by a 2-to-1 margin. As we had these conversations, they kept coming back to this idea that 45 years since Roe v. Wade, Rhode Island had not passed legislation protecting access to safe and legal abortion. In response, we founded the Women Project with the vision of working on one issue at a time using education, art, and activism to sustain the engagement that we saw at the Women's March. From what we learned about the state, we thought the long push for reproductive freedom in Rhode Island could use a boost, and we began working to educate people about the Reproductive Health Care Act while offering Rhode Islanders ways to have their voices heard and to make activism a part of their lives. We organized a dinner strike on International Women's Day. To our surprise, 300 people walked 1.3 miles in solidarity with International Women's Day and signed artist-made postcards supporting the Reproductive Health Care Act. Postcards were a great start, but we needed to do more. The time to be at the State House is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, from 3 to 5 p.m. To be here at this time requires people to take time off work and/or find childcare in order to have their voices heard. Coupling the power of art with activism, the Women Project solution was a 53-foot-long petition. This petition was displayed in the State House last May until the end of session and traveled around the state, gathering signatures at meetings, house parties, play dates, and pop-up signings. While this 53-foot petition was not enough to get the Reproductive Health Care Act to vote for a floor vote, Congressman Langevin may have been moved by it when he voted no on the 20-week abortion ban. Knowing that the petition had an impact, we launched Petition 2.0 at Scarborough Beach on the Governor's Beach Day. Petition 2.0 is a patchwork quilt comprised of 7 by 7-inch squares, each signed by one person. Every square signed has a personal connection to the signer. We have learned through this process that there is enormous support for the Reproductive Health Care Act in our state, and to date, over 1,000 Rhode Islanders have signed. This petition is just one piece of the activism that is going on across this country. Last year, Delaware, Oregon, and Illinois passed legislation to protect Roe v. Wade, and last month, the Massachusetts State Senate passed a bill to repeal their unconstitutional abortion laws. Now is the time to take action in Rhode Island. The country is watching and waiting for us to act.